Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We start this. I have to add a video which I have missed out, and this is on biological molecules. There is one which is video 1A, which I have now renamed, and this is the video 1B which follows, which was supposed to have information on lipids, which I realized that I did not give it to you, and somebody pointed that out. Thank you for the child who has pointed that out. And now this is all about lipids that we're going to talk about, which was left out of the 3 videos on biological molecules. What are lipids? Lipids are organic molecules, and the important thing we've got to understand is that they're insoluble in water. That's why if you have a paratha or if you have something oily and you've got some ghee or oil on your hands and you try to wash it with water, it's not going to rub off, it's not going to come off. You'll have to use some soap, and the soap is the one which is going to as you're working as a detergent and remove the fat from your hands. So it's organic molecules, they're insoluble in water. And we say fats and oils. Well, fats are solid at room temperature. These are usually ones we talk about, especially saturated fats like makhan, ghee, butter. All these will solidify at room temperature. While oils like corn oil, olive oil, they will remain liquid at room temperature. Then we could say the true lipids are esters. And what are esters? You've got to understand what are esters. Esters is formed when fatty acid and alcohol combine. So this is what lipids are all about, and we have to understand in more detail. Now let's look at this diagram. Which says alcohols are a series of organic molecules which contain a hydroxyl group, OH, attached to a carbon atom. Glycerol is an alcohol. So glycerol is an alcohol with 3 hydroxyl groups. So glycerol is an alcohol with 3 hydroxyl groups. The reaction between an acid and an alcohol produces a chemical known as an ester. So the chemical link between the acid and the alcohol is known as an ester bond. And now you can see these ester bonds where they are labeled. Here is an ester bond. Here is an ester bond. Here is an ester bond. So we have, why do we say triglyceride? Triglyceride means there's one glycerol and there are 3 fatty acid chains. And 3 water molecules will exit, as you can see here. And we will get a head and 3 hydrocarbon tails. So simply you've got seen here glycerol, 3 fatty acids, condensation, 3 water molecules will exit. And it will join to form a triglyceride molecule. So formation of a triglyceride from glycerol and 3 fatty acid molecules. And 3 water. And if you want to hydrolyze this, if you want to break this bond, of course naturally you will have to add 3 molecules of water. So that's what lipase does. Lipase converts the lipids into fatty acids and glycerol. So wherever you have lipase in your body, pancreas produces lipase, it's going to convert the fat or the triglyceride. The triglyceride molecule is going to split into a glycerol and 3 fatty acid tails, or we can say 3 fatty acid chains. We can say 3 fatty acid chains. And these tails can vary in length. They can vary in length. We don't say they have a fixed number. They vary in length and they can be anything from 15 to 17 carbon long. Then let's look at this diagram in which we can see there are 2 things. One is a saturated fatty acid and one is an unsaturated fatty acid. Now saturated fatty acids are usually found in animal fats. Now, what do we understand by saturated and unsaturated fats? The tail of some fatty acids have double bonds between the neighboring carbon atoms, like this one here. Such fatty acids are called unsaturated because they do not contain the maximum possible amount of hydrogen. They form unsaturated lipids. Double bonds make the fatty acids and lipids melt more easily. For example, most oils are unsaturated, and these are usually plant fats or plant oils, olive oil, mustard oil. So double bonds make the fatty acids and lipids melt more easily. If there is more than one double bond, then the fatty acid or lipid is described as polyunsaturated. But if there is only one, it is called monounsaturated. Unsaturated. If it's one double bond, monounsaturated. If there are many double bonds, polyunsaturated. Animal fats like cream, butter. So animal lipids are often saturated. There is no double bonds. You can see there are no double bonds in this. So no double bonds between the carbon-carbon. We're not saying we're talking about this thing. So no carbon-carbon double bonds. So animal fats are usually saturated. Animal fats are often saturated. So there are no double bonds and occur as fats, while the plant lipids are often unsaturated and occur as oils. So this is the basic fat, lipid, triglyceride story that you have to know. Triglycerides are insoluble in water but are soluble in organic solvents like ether, chloroform, and ethanol. This is because of the non-polar nature of the hydrocarbon tails. They have no uneven distribution of electrical charge. So they do not mix easily with the water molecules. And so they will be known as hydrophobic. Phobia means fear. Hydrophobic means water haters or water fearing. Now let's look at the role of triglycerides. Now lipids make an excellent energy reserve because they're even richer in carbon-hydrogen bonds than the carbohydrates. A given mass of lipids will therefore yield more energy on oxidation than the same mass of carbohydrates. So we say rich in carbohydrate bonds, more energy per unit mass. Now fat is stored below the skin in the human body, particularly below the dermis of the skin and around the kidneys. Below the skin, it also acts as an insulator against loss of heat. And an unusual role for lipids is a metabolic source of water. Metabolic source of water means what? When it's oxidized in respiration, glucose plus oxygen, when this fat molecule is respired, they convert it to carbon dioxide and water. The water may be of importance in very dry habitats. For example, the desert kangaroo rat never drinks water and survives on metabolic water from its fat intake. So when the fats are respired, they result in carbon dioxide and water, and this water is a gain by the animal. So we say it has gained metabolic water. One water you gain by drinking water or drinking a juice or having an apple, drink or food. But they get this by the reactions which are occurring in their body. So desert kangaroo rats never drink water and they survive on this. The last heading in the chapter on lipids is phospholipids, and they're a special type of lipid. Why? They have a glycerol as well. And there are two fatty acid chains, only two fatty acid chains. And to the third carbon is attached a phosphate group. So one of the three fatty acid molecules is replaced by a phosphate group which is polar. So the phosphate group is polar. That's very important that you know that. And can therefore dissolve in water. This phosphate group is called hydrophilic. Hydrophilic, water loving. And makes the head of a phospholipid molecule hydrophilic. Although the two remaining tails are hydrophobic. This allows this molecule to form a membrane around a cell where the hydrophilic heads line the watery solution on the outside of the membrane, and the hydrophobic tails form a layer that is impermeable. Hydrophilic tails form a layer that is impermeable to hydrophilic substances. The biological significance of this will be discussed in the chapter on the cell membrane. So basically what do we have? We have a hydrophilic head, and then we have the two tails, and then we have the two tails, and then we have the hydrophilic head. So this is all hydrophilic, but this area where the tails are pointing inward, this area is hydrophobic. And this, of course, we discuss in great detail then in the chapter on the cell membrane. So this is all what we have to know about the details of lipids, and I hope this will be part of the biological molecule chapter, and this is the now being labeled as video 1B, because I think I missed this out on the video 1A, in which I thought I had discussed lipids. So thank you for pointing it out, and I'm sure this will help you to complete this chapter and revise this chapter very well. And thank you once again.